Hey everybody, it's the Divine's Finest. Welcome back to another episode 18, you guys. And today we're going to talk about, I used to perform for love, but here's what happens when you stop, okay? So, in today's episode, I want to have a real heart-to-heart conversation with you. But actually, you know what? Before we get into that, make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel if you want more content. Make sure your notifications are on. And also be sure to check out my brand new, amazing Decentering Men Journal, you guys. Okay, that's definitely going to change your life around. I guarantee it. Okay, it's definitely helped me out. I have over 350 positive reviews from people. If you guys haven't seen my reels, okay, you guys can check that out. All right, but be sure to do that. But going into this episode here, I have to be honest with you guys. I always am. But here's the thing. I have to have an honest conversation, a real heart-to-heart conversation with you. Not the perfectly packaged kind, not the polished, I've healed everything kind, but the kind of episode where I tell you the truth about something I actually used to do without even realizing it, okay? I used to actually perform for love. I used to shrink, bend, overextend, soften my needs, and put on a show. All so someone else would stay. I'm sure some of you guys can definitely resonate with this. If you're tired of feeling like you have to earn love, oh man, that was such a big part of me when I was growing up, okay? Or if you've ever wondered, would they still want me if I just wasn't doing the most? Well, this episode is going to be for you, okay? So let's talk about what happens when you stop performing for love and you start receiving it from a grounded, authentic place, okay? So you might not realize you're doing it at first. It may sound like something like, if I'm easygoing, maybe he won't leave. Or if I don't ask for too much, then maybe I'll be chosen by him finally. Or maybe even something like, if I'm always there for him, eventually he'll commit to me. It may feel like, this is what it actually feels like. Now, what I just talked about was what it may sound like, right? But what it may feel like, maybe you might feel like you're walking on eggshells, or you have constant anxiety. You're trying to heal their mood before expressing yours, or you are just simply smiling through your unmet needs. Performing for love is actually a trauma response. It's the inner child saying, maybe if I'm lovable enough, they won't abandon me. But here's the truth about it all. Love that you have to earn through performance, that's not love. It's approval, it's control, and it's survival. Now, this is actually where it comes from, and this is pretty interesting, okay? And most of us who perform for love learned it, as I mentioned, as we're growing up, when really early in life. We might have had emotionally unavailable parents, or we were taught that our needs were too much. Or even, that we may have learned that love had to be earned by being good, right? So we grew up thinking that love meant or is equivalent to effort, or that love is equal to sacrificing your truth, or even that love is equivalent to shape-shifting into whatever they need you to be. But no one told us the cost. That you can only pretend for so long, that eventually your nervous system just gets tired, that your soul starts screaming, I just want to be loved as I am. So here's what happens when you stop all that performing, that nonsense performing, I should call it. Now, at first, it's going to feel terrifying, okay? our nervous system is not going to be familiar with that. Okay, let's just be real. So, one of the things you might start doing is you set boundaries, but then maybe they might leave. You would stop chasing and they would end up pulling away. Or you could even do something as simple as you expressing your truth and then they say that you're too much. And that's when the fear voice shows up and it might say, see, you were right. You do have to perform. But here's what I learned. That drop off, that loss is the clearing. When you stop performing, you stop being in relationships that require your performance. You stop attracting avoidance, breadcrumb kings, okay? And there are breadcrumb queens out there, all right? It could go either way. And you'll just simply stop. Oh my gosh, my tongue is getting twisted, you guys. You stop attracting avoidance, breadcrumb kings or queens, like I mentioned, people who only like the version of you that was pleasing, passive, and perfect. Okay. You start attracting people who are aligned with your worth, not your performance. And that shift actually changes everything. Okay. So here's what I found out on the other side of it. When I actually stopped performing for love, I found that, one, I had space in my chest I didn't even know I was holding. Real rest, because I no longer had to stay ready. Deeper friendships and emotional safety. And lastly, confidence, not because someone gave it to me, but because I chose myself. Was it lonely at first, you may wonder? Yeah, it was. Did it trigger abandonment wounds? Absolutely. But every version of me that had been performing finally got to rest. And over time, love started showing up in ways I had never experienced before. No games, no proving, no shrinking. Just presence, safety, and honesty. And that started with me being honest with myself. So if you've been nodding along, feeling seen, maybe even tearing up a little bit, this is just your invitation to stop performing. You don't need to contort your needs. You don't even need to earn your worth. And you don't need to settle for love that only exists when you're perfect. So instead, try this. Let that text message go unanswered if it drains you. Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Choose rest instead of another self-improvement task. Say no without explaining. You can simply just start there, you guys, okay? Because the people who are meant for you won't require your performance. They'll meet you in your truth. So with that being said, you guys, I know this is a short and sweet episode, but if this episode landed for your heart today, go ahead and check out my Decentering Men Journal. Okay, there's 28 days worth of prompts in there. I have a mini attachment style quiz in there, and I even give you my famous rundown of my ritual that helped me get to where I am today, which is pretty much from where I went from being anxiously attached to securely attached. Okay, I guarantee it's definitely going to help you. So make sure you check that out. All right. It's time to reclaim your nervous system, your power, and your worth. You can, and then of course that information is in the description box below. And of course, if you want to go even deeper into this work, if you're still a little bit hesitant about buying my journal, I do have a free 7-day secure self journal also available, because you don't have to do this healing journey alone, okay? But remember, you don't need to perform to be loved. You don't need to prove your worth. You're already more than enough as you are. And I'm sending you guys lots of love. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll speak to you guys in the next episode.